So today I want to talk about something that is super integral to this new identity I've created for myself. I want to talk about what soft love means to me as a Black woman and why it matters so much to me. If you're a Black woman or a woman of color navigating love in today's society, this video is especially for you. So the media played a huge role in how I understood how Black women are meant to receive love or how they are meant to experience love. And it always used to be this perception of struggle love or ride or die love. I think love in struggle was something that was like super integral to the perception and story of how Black women are meant to experience love in American society. The media portrayed men cheating on Black women or just men cheating in general as their like innate nature, like it's their nature or it's men nature to cheat. But especially in relationships that Black women were in, they were meant to endure cheating or emotional manipulation or sometimes like trigger warning like physical abuse. Anything that created a sense of unsafety was something that a Black woman was meant to endure. And personally, I hate the ride or die type of like propaganda or prerogative that is like put on Black women. I am not a ride or die. I am not willing to put myself in a state of unsafety for any man. And for Black women, especially when it was in terms or in relation to Black men, it felt like Black women just had to be at the beck and call of Black men. Whether that's them cheating, getting another woman pregnant, it was just always something, or the physical abuse, the emotional abuse. We had to endure whatever the Black man gave us, almost as if we didn't have any other choice, or almost as if we didn't have any options. It really felt like Black women were meant to give up their whole lives for the Black man, or just like for their romantic relationships. In the media and what I've seen, it's that Black women were supposed to just like have this unwavering loyalty even when it was not given back in return by Black men, and that it in itself is a whole nother video. And I honestly don't like to slander Black men and I don't want to talk about it, but I feel like Black men need to do some healing for themselves. They have a lot of healing to do. And I feel like a lot of Black women nowadays are starting to reclaim their power, especially like claim power over their love life and choose love that chooses them back, you know? And I feel like the portrayal of Black women and like Black men relationships that are seen in the media, I don't think I've ever seen a genuine, healthy one. A one that didn't perpetuate any colorism, fat phobic, or anything that was like truly genuine and loving when I was growing up watching TV. To me, it seemed like Black women were disposable. I never saw any man appreciate, adore, and love a Black woman in such a genuine, pure way. It seems like there was so much emphasis put on the physical body of Black women. Like Black women are only meant to like twerk and be these like objects of desire and like, you know, sexual beings for men in societies. It seemed like the mind, the soul, and the body of Black women were never meant for themselves, for ourselves. It was meant for people outside of us. Or there were times where Black women were pursued like in secrecy or behind the scenes or in the shadows. I've never seen a Black woman like be loved out loud with pride. I feel like Black women are often portrayed as like the mistress. They were never pursued with intentionality. As I was growing up in high school, I don't know, but there seemed to be a wave of like Black women hatred on social media where I would see men from different race just like slander Black women, talk about our hairs and like how they look ghetto and ratchet, how our hair is just unkept, the whole bonnet fiasco, how we have an obsession with straight hair and how we hate ourselves and how we hate our natural hair, or like how we're too dark. That era really traumatized me because it really made me feel like I was just unworthy of love, that I was just undesirable, that I was unlovable, and that the world was against me. Black men hated me. Every other race hated me because they thought that I was just disgusting. I really thought that Black women were the least desired and least wanted by anyone in this world. And I was like, oh my God, like who's gonna want me if if society has determined that I am the least desirable in this whole entire world. And to me, this is different from the portrayal I've seen with white women in media or Asian women in media. I'm not saying that those women of those race don't experience any form of discrimination. They do, but when it comes to Black women and the portrayals and stories that are in relation to love for them specifically, for us, it's different. It's uniquely different and it's not the same. What did Malcolm X said? Like, the most disrespected woman or the most disrespected person in the world is the Black woman. Like, I don't know what the quote is. Maybe I'll put it up somewhere. And I'm not here to fight or try to prove my story and the story of other Black women. And I'm not here making this video out of a victim mindset or victim mentality, like, oh, you should feel bad for me. I'm a Black woman. This is how the world views me. Da, 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 da. No, this whole video is about rejecting that portrayal. These ideas are all created by the white American thought. And you know what's interesting? I've had one white woman. She was like, I told my fiance to treat me like a white woman. And when she said that, I was laughing because I was like, I'm glad you know that there's a specific treatment that you receive as a white woman that isn't afforded or isn't given to other women of color, especially Black women. A content creator that I love to watch who is a dating coach specifically for Black women and women of color is, I think it's Anwar, hopefully I'm saying his name right, but literally he tells Black women that you need to have the audacity of a white woman. There are privileges in the ways in which white women navigate love or navigate this world is actually insane, okay? I'm not saying I put white women on a pedestal. I feel like as a Black woman, with me consuming media, with me being a Black girl in a family household that hasn't unlearned some of these things, I use the entitlement and the audacity and the standards that white women have as my own standards, not because they shouldn't have those, but they have them because they are white and because they're the default or the most like the desirable, you know? And so I use that as a compass. The phrase treat me like a white woman basically speaks to the case of this video entirely. Now I'm gonna talk about what I saw in my family. I often saw men just like leech off of the energy and abundance of the women in my family. I feel like the men use the Black women in my family like as source of love, a source of money, source of like things that they couldn't even provide themselves. The men acted as opportunists. Like I don't think they actually knew how to love the women in my family. And I feel like the women in my family are often the ones that are laying the foundation of the relationship. Like if it were not for the women in my family, of them keeping the relationship steady, of keeping the household steady, the relationship would not exist. Usually the women in my family are often in their masculine energy. They're the doers, they're the cleaners, they're the providers, they're the therapists, they're the breadwinners, they're everything that the man is supposed to be. And what's interesting is that like I come from a Caribbean household. It's very patriarchal or very like traditional. Like the woman is supposed to clean the house, take care of the kids, you know, fold the laundry, like do all of the housework while the man is out here working, probably cheating and having multiple mistress and having other children. God knows, right? The women in my family were really the providers. They were doing what the man was supposed to be doing. The woman provided for the family. The woman provided for the house, while the man did nothing but just exist. It would kind of give us this notion like, you're lucky for me to have you here. Like that's the type of vibe that the men gave. Like, you're lucky that I'm here and you need to do X, Y, and Z in order to keep me here. As if him being here in a relationship was doing a favor for the woman in my family. In order to keep their man, they would have to sacrifice their own needs, their own desires, their own wants. It literally taught me that like love requires self-abandonment. Love requires sacrifice. Love requires settling. Love is performative. Love is transactional. Love is like almost like one-sided. Almost as if the women in my family were proving to the man that they were worthy of being in a relationship with them, even though the man was not doing anything, did not do anything to amount to what the women in my family were doing. And what's interesting is that there was no emotional security, no emotional intelligence whatsoever in the households that I grew up in. Sure, they provided physical or like a house and, you know, basic needs and stuff like that. But when it came to like emotional security, I don't think I've ever seen any of the man, like when they were talking to the women in my family, ever have any sort of emotional intelligence or availability at all. To sum up all of that, it really taught me that love is performative, love is transactional. Love requires me to be my masculine energy, for me to be the doer, the chaser, the provider. And I am the firstborn, and I feel like those ideas around love and also like me having to do is something that I had to like break down for myself and like relearn that I am allowed to receive. I am allowed to exist. I don't have to perform for a man. It is not my job to perform for men. I don't have to do anything that makes me go outside of myself in order to receive love from a man. Now I'm going to talk about why I'm reclaiming soft love. So soft love to me means safety. It means consistency. It means stability. It means me being adored. It means me being loved truly for who I am, my authentic self. I wanted to say for my soul, for my being. It means I'm being provided for. It means that I don't have to be in my masculine energy. I don't have to perform, and I don't have to chase, and I don't have to earn love. All I have to do is exist. And most importantly, in addition to safety, it also means emotional intelligence and emotional availability. Soft love to me means that I'm able to grow as an individual, that my partner doesn't want to take from me. He doesn't want to be a leech. He doesn't act as something that holds me back from my potential. He actually wants more for me. He wants to see me grow. He wants to challenge me. He wants to inspire me. He doesn't want him or this relationship to act as a hindrance to my potential and to my light and who I am as an individual. And the reason why I have claimed soft love so loudly and so like intently, and I guess I'm so stubborn about it, is because to me it's a radical act for me as a Black woman, for me to say that I want soft love and for me to make room for soft love, because softness has been denied to Black women. We're told from a young age to accept scraps, to accept struggle, to accept scarcity, to accept crumbs, everything, right? We're told to accept these things almost as if they're a reflection of our worth, as if we're trash ourselves. And that's the far from the truth. Struggle and me are not in the same room ever. Sometimes I feel like Black women don't know or like need to be taught that they're so worthy of more and that there's more out there. And as I was like outlining this video, I just thought about the picture of that Black girl who was protesting during the catastrophic summer of 2020 with all of the death of Black lives that happened. And there was this Black girl that was like protesting, and a lot of like people were like, oh my God, that's so courageous and something of her. And then there were other Black women that are like, she is literally probably 9 years old, marching in a pandemic for her country to see people of her skin color as human beings. I don't think that I'm out of burden, pressure, and duty is put on other people in general. It's almost like we carry the burdens of the world on our necks and on our shoulders. And I reject that narrative. I reject that narrative that the white American consciousness has put on Black women. Therefore, to me, soft love is a form of healing for me. Soft love is a form of reclaiming my power. Soft love is a form of rebellion, is an act of protest. But most importantly, I'm doing this for the other women that are coming after me. I'm doing this for my daughter. I'm doing this for my granddaughters, and I'm doing this for my granddaughter daughters. I'm doing this to start a new cycle and a new wave for the women in my family. Women in my family have put up with so much for men in their lives, and I'm so done of seeing the same cycles, of seeing the same stories, of seeing the same relationships in my family, because the women in my family deserve so much more. I'm not here to tell the women in my family what to do, but I can do that by starting with myself and setting a new standard for myself and what I desire as a Black woman. So today's lesson of love is you are worthy of soft love. You don't have to earn softness, gentleness, or safety of peace. I am telling you, and I'm also telling myself, that we no longer, as Black women and women of color, we no longer have to accept society's perception of us and what we are worthy of experiencing in our one chance of living on this earth. People's perception of you have no impact on your life, of your sense of self-worth or self-identity. You get to determine who you are. You get to determine what type of life you lead and who you are in this world. I have started to reject the white American consciousness idea of what a Black woman is and what she's meant to endure in this lifetime and who she's meant to be in relationships. I have rejected that long time ago. From a young girl, I've always struggled with accepting that narrative. I never thought that was meant for me. I've always known that I'm meant for softness and for gentleness and for safety and stability that is just given to default to white women and other women. I'm creating my own narrative rooted in truth and softness and ease. So to all my Black women and women of color out there, we no longer choose love from lack. We no longer choose love that's available to us or what society says that we should receive. We move with intention and discernment and keep our worth intact in order for us to receive what we're worthy of. So the question that I'm gonna leave you with is, what would it look like to be loved in the ways that you dreamed of? Don't think about any limiting beliefs or perception or ideas that are not yours, that might have been placed there or 100% placed there during childhood or through what you saw growing up. Think about it and just dream and think about no limitations and know that whatever you write down is possible. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye. Mwah.